Good day. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this time I will be discussing about proposition. At the end of this discussion, you are expected to illustrate and symbolize propositions, distinguish simple from compound propositions, perform different types of operations on propositions. Let us first define proposition. A proposition is a declarative sentence that is either true or false but not both. Then, what is declarative sentence? A declarative sentence is a sentence that makes a statement, provides a fact, offers an explanation, or conveys information. A declarative sentence is written in the present tense and usually ends with a period. It gives factual data, it gives explanation, it also gives information. And aside from being a declarative sentence, one of the characteristic of proposition is it is either true or false. It can be true or it can be false, but it cannot be both true and false. Next, variables are used to represent propositions. The most commonly used variables are small letter p, small letter q, and small letter r. Let us have these examples. Proposition P, Marcos is the current president of the Philippines. Proposition Q, Bataan is in Luzon. Proposition R, 1 plus 2 equals 12. If a proposition is true, then its truth value is true, which is denoted by capital letter T. Otherwise, its truth value is false, which is denoted by capital letter F. Let us determine the truth value of these propositions. P, Marcos is the current president of the Philippines. We know that Marcos is not our current president, so the truth value is false. Bataan is in Luzon, so this statement is true, therefore the truth value is true. And for proposition R, 1 plus 2 is not equivalent to 12, therefore the truth value is false. So whether it is true or false, whether it is true or false, it is still a proposition. Pass the water. Sign the contract. Get the key. The following sentences are not propositions because they are not declarative sentences. Instead, they are imperative sentences, and imperative sentences are used to deliver an instruction, command, or request. What a beautiful wedding dress! I hate you! What an amazing sunrise! These are all exclamatory sentences, and exclamatory sentences make statements that express a strong feeling or a strong emotion. You can usually identify exclamatory sentences by their punctuation mark. All exclamatory sentences end with an exclamation mark. Therefore, these are not propositions. Where do you live? Why are you late? What are you doing? These are all interrogative sentences, and an interrogative sentence is a sentence that asks a question. Interrogative sentences often start with interrogative pronouns and end with a question mark. Therefore, these statements are not propositions because they are in interrogative form. Let us discuss simple declarative. A simple declarative sentence has a simple sentence structure consisting of a subject and a predicate. The subject is what or whom the sentence is about, while the predicate tells something about the subject. Let us have these examples. Julia is sick. The subject is Julia and the subject is sick. Also, my son is smart. Next, let us have compound declarative. A compound declarative sentence joins two related phrases with a comma and a conjunction, such as and, yet, or but. Example, Eliza plays volleyball and Kiefer plays basketball. Elias loves to play outside, but it is still raining. These phrases can also be united by a semicolon, which is sometimes accompanied by a transition word like besides, however, or therefore. Let us now proceed with simple proposition. Simple proposition conveys one thought with no connecting words. Examples: Proposition P, Earth is the center of the universe. Proposition Q, 2 plus 3 is greater than 6. Proposition R, square has 4 equal sides. So let us determine the truth value of each proposition. The truth value of P is false because Earth is not the center of the universe. The truth value of Q is false because 2 plus 3 is not greater than 6. And the truth value of proposition R is true because square has 4 equal sides. Let us have compound proposition. A compound proposition contains two or more simple propositions that are put together using connective words. Connective words such as and, or, not, if, then, if, and only if. If you use the connective word such as and, you will use this symbol. For connective word or, this symbol. Connective word connector, which is not, this one. Connector, which is if and then, this symbol. And the connective words, which is if and only if, this symbol. And if you use the connector and, the type of a statement is now conjunction. If you use the connector or, the type of statement is disjunction. If you use the connector not, the type of statement is negation. And if you use if, then, connector or connective words, this is a conditional type of statement. Last, if you use connective words if and only if, it is a biconditional type of statement. Let us have first conjunction. If two simple propositions P and Q are connected by the word and, then the resulting compound proposition is now P and Q. And it is called a conjunction of P and Q, and it is written in symbolic form as P and Q. Examples: Proposition P, Mary Chris eats pizza. Proposition Q, Sky drinks milk tea. If we combine P by the connective word and, so it is a conjunction of P and Q. In symbolic form, P and Q. So, Mary Chris eats pizza and Sky drinks milk tea. Next, proposition P, Luciano is sleepy. Proposition Q, the weather is cold. And proposition R, the sun is rising. All you have to do is to determine each conjunctive proposition. P and Q, P and R, and Q and R. P and Q. Luciano is sleepy and the weather is cold. P, which is Luciano, is sleepy, and Q, the weather is cold. Next, P and R. Luciano is sleepy and the sun is rising. Q and R. The weather is cold and the sun is rising. Another example, proposition P, 5 is a prime number. Proposition Q, 5 is an odd number. Proposition R, 25 is divisible by 5. Then, determine each conjunctive proposition. Q and P, R and P, and R and Q. So, 5 is an odd number and 5 is a prime number, or 5 is an odd number and it is a prime number. Next, 25 is divisible by 5 and 5 is a prime number. Next, 25 is divisible by 5 and 5 is an odd number. Let us have this disjunction. If two simple propositions P and Q are connected by the word or, then the resulting compound proposition P or Q is called a disjunction of P and Q, and it is written in symbolic form as P or Q. Let us have this example. Proposition P, Marie Chris eats pizza, and proposition Q, Sky drinks milk tea. The disjunction of P and Q is P or Q. So it is Marie Chris eats pizza or Sky drinks milk tea. Another example, proposition P, Luciano is sleepy. Proposition Q, the weather is cold, and proposition R, the sun is rising. Determine each disjunctive proposition. P or Q. Luciano is sleepy or the weather is cold. P or R. Luciano is sleepy or the sun is rising. Q or R. The weather is cold or the sun is rising. Next, proposition PQR. Let us determine each disjunctive proposition, Q or P. It is 5 is an odd number or 5 is a prime number. R or P, 25 is divisible by 5 or 5 is a prime number. R or Q, 25 is divisible by 5 or 5 is an odd number. Let us now proceed with negation. An assertion that a statement fails or denial of a statement, and that is a negation of the statement. The negative of a statement is generally formed by introducing the word not, sometimes the word no, at some proper place in the statement, or by prefixing the statement with "it is not the case that" or "it is false that." The negation of a statement P in symbolic form is written as not P. The example, let us find the negation of Q, and it is in this symbol it read as not Q. So let us have this different form. It is false that Sky drinks milk tea, or it can be in this form: Sky does not drink milk tea. And it is not the case that Sky drinks milk tea. Simply negate the given proposition. Let us have these examples. Determine the negation of each proposition. Not P, 5 is not a prime number. Or you can say 5 is a composite number. Not Q, 5 is not an odd number. Or you can say 5 is an even number. not R, 25 is not divisible by 5. Next, let us have conditional. If two simple propositions P and Q are joined by a connectivity if then the resulting compound proposition if P then Q is called a conditional proposition or an implication, and it is written in symbolic form as P if P then Q, where P is your hypothesis and Q is your conclusion. It is also read as P implies Q. Example, conditional if P then Q. And in symbol, so we have if Marie Chris eats pizza, then Sky drinks milk tea. Examples, determine each conditional proposition if P then Q. If Luciano is sleepy, then the weather is cold. If P then R, if Luciano is sleepy, then the sun is rising. If Q then R, if the weather is cold, then the sun is rising. Next, if P then Q. If 5 is a prime number, then 5 is an odd number. If P then R, if 5 is a prime number, then 25 is divisible by 5. If Q then R, if 5 is an odd number, then 25 is divisible by 5. Let us have biconditional. If two propositions P and Q are connected by the connective if and only if, then the resulting compound proposition P if and only if Q is called a biconditional of P and Q, and it is written in symbolic form as P if and only if Q. The proposition may also be written as in this way. The propositions P and Q are the components of the biconditional. Example, biconditional P if and only if Q. In symbolic form, it is P if and only if Q. So, it is Marie Chris eats pizza if and only if Sky drinks milk tea. Another example, if P if and only if Q. Luciano is sleepy if and only if the weather is cold. P if and only if R. Luciano is sleepy if and only if the sun is rising. Q if and only if R. The weather is cold if and only if the sun is rising. Another examples for biconditional proposition, P if and only if Q. 5 is a prime number if and only if 5 is an odd number. P if and only if R. 5 is a prime number if and only if 25 is divisible by 5. Q if and only if R. 5 is an odd number if and only if 25 is divisible by 5. So, these are my references. Thank you, God bless, and keep safe.